So I'm just checking in, seeing how people are doing. Hopefully whoever needs this video, sees this video. Just want to remind everyone, that it is still okay to not be okay with what's happening, even though it's been quite a long time, almost a whole year that we're still dealing with this. But people are still, out of work, still dealing with unemployment stuff, still dealing with how to get groceries, still dealing with how to, go to the doctor for regular stuff, still dealing with kids and how their schedules are with jobs, still dealing with a lot of crazy situations that are going on, and still dealing with issues that have to do with the upstairs pertaining to the outside, and things that are running parallel to these problems. And I just wanted to, again, reiterate, it is okay to not be okay with the situation still, or if you were okay before, if you were going on strong, working through things, and you just now are, realizing that this is not an easy situation, that maybe your load is a little too heavy and for a little too long. It is okay. It is okay to just now, start showing signs of frustration, depression, or a lot of anxiety. It's okay. I wanted to share a little bit about my struggles because I wanted to remind everyone that every day is a new day. And even if you have faith, or you usually have a handle on things, or you started to get a handle on things, every day is gonna be a struggle. Every day is a fight, and you just gotta keep going, right? And I just want to remind you, if you think that because you've gone on this long that you don't need to worry about yourself still, you don't have to worry about your own mental health, you don't have to worry about self-care, you don't have to worry about any like physical health, or you do. It is still important, and you need to focus on you sometimes. I know that sometimes we slip and we are not praying, especially not the believers. If you think, oh, I'm good, I don't have to check in with, with God today. You still have to do it. You still have to reach out. It's a struggle. My faith, it's been a struggle, and every day I am still like focusing on trying to get better and trying to reach not reach, I want to surpass the relationship I had with God, that I had before. Because when you go through something and you say, I wish that it was like before, you shouldn't, because you got to the point where it's no longer as good, right? You want to get better so you don't have to come back to this again. So I just wanted to share a little bit about the struggles that I'm going through, because I want to be able to help someone. I want to be able to show you a link to other people going through this pandemic with you. I've said in my other videos that if you haven't seen it, it's not a big deal. I would recommend you do, particularly the ones about the pandemic. Maybe it'll help you. I want to remind you that, and to show you what we're going through so that you don't feel alone. It helps us to sometimes to make me feel better about our situations, because we're not alone. It helps us to feel connected, and quite frankly, we need all the connection we can get. Sometimes, even if you have people around you, you can feel alone, and I know how that feels. And it is not a good feeling, and sometimes you want to be alone, which I also know, because I love to be alone. I love my alone time. It's not always something we want. It's not always something we need. If I look fidgety, it's because, well, one, I'm always fidgety, and two, it's late at night, and of course, I do this at nighttime. So one of the things I wanted to mention is I'm still not able to work. And what is frustrating for me is that I had been in a job for almost a decade, which was not, I mean, it was stable. It was neither fulfilling nor conducive for a good mental health for me. So I had to stop working there and I wanted to focus on, finding things that I would love to do as a career path, a job. And I was doing that. I was in the process of breaking into an industry in which I wanted to be a part of, to create and to help people with, some form of entertainment, or and to also be able to go and work on the other avenues that I wanted to work on, to focus on the things that I loved, whereas I could not with the job before. And so I was doing it slowly. I was able to start like thinking about other projects, and then this happened and I could not do that. And now if I do even decide to work, I don't feel comfortable. I've seen some of the conditions. The fact that I would have to test twice per a one-day gig, and then I would have to work more than one day out of the week, and that is me trying to find those gigs that I can even do. And it was not like I could not. I'm still not able to. So, and I'm trying to find other less fulfilling or gratifying work just to try to have a job, and that's even difficult to do. So it's been frustrating, especially since I had wanted to focus on things that I really loved. I know the things that I love to do and I want to do that, but every step of the way as I continue, this being one of the jobs that I wish that this could turn into something, this YouTube channel, but it's not looking like it's going to be easy. But everything that I'm doing, or that I wanted to do prior to this, it halted, and it's so much more difficult to get into right now. I've decided to try to sell my artwork, and I really want to focus on creating things and being able to bring that to people, joy, and sharing that. And anything that I learn, I want to share, and I want to be able to help people. And right now, aside from working, I don't feel like I am helping anyone. I don't feel like I'm bringing any sort of like joy to anyone. I don't feel like I am I hate talking about this. I don't feel like I am being a blessing to anyone. I feel like I'm being a hindrance to everyone around me, and I don't know what to do. So I know that if I feel a little bit like this, or even a lot, most days, I know that other people are not feeling great, and I want you to know that it's okay. I mean, it's not great, the feeling, but that it's not an abnormality, you know? There are people that will say, oh, when are you gonna get over that? When is it? No, it's not magic. It's not snapping my fingers like Thanos erasing half of the population. That's not how that works. We need to, everyone has their own path to get through their situations. We don't all think the same. We don't feel the same about the things that are happening, and our mind doesn't process the things the same way. I have quite a bit of stuff that I wanted to work on, or I was trying to work on prior to the pandemic. I have notes. If it okay, if it seems weird, it's because I'm looking at my notes. I have been working on quite a bit of stuff before this, and I came to the conclusion that I was going to speak to someone, like going to therapy or whatever. I was going to find someone, and then this happened, and then, of course, another thing that came to a stop. And so then, yes, I read my Bible, I pray, and I watch sermons, Charles Stanley, Andy Stanley, and I look for things, and I try to, like, with my videos for Bible Words of Wisdom, I think I only have like 2. I'm trying to help others, but it is a struggle for me every day, especially since I am not a pastor. I am not a licensed therapist, psychiatrist, or whatever, and I have my own issues. Whilst I can help people, it's sometimes a little more difficult for me because I have anxiety, and while I have mastered quite a bit of it in certain aspects of my life, and I'm a lot like cooler and laid back in a lot of areas and about a lot of things, and I can work through like I can work under pressure. There are some situations I can't, because I can't control, and there other people can't even control, and I am still like, my faith has been jumbled, and I wish it was stronger. There's so much that I don't really have anyone to share it with. I'm sorry that I'm rambling. I'm really nervous. I'm trying not to forget anything. Anyway, wow, I need to focus on my attention. Bring it back. Okay. So it's really difficult, and so I wanted to speak to somebody. Now that I don't have that, it is not easy. So I'm trying to figure out ways to deal with situations that I can no longer do. I can't do the things that I used to do, so I have to try to figure out new ways aside from praying or whatever. I need, like, everybody needs a release, a place to decongest, you know, to let go. And it has been increasingly more difficult to do, and I have been slipping into a pattern that is really troublesome to me. So I am a natural, I guess, fighter for, like, I never liked to be sick when I was a kid. I hated staying home from school for a week straight. When I was a kid and I used to get sick and I had to stay home for a week, it bothered me. Driving me crazy. I didn't want to do nothing for a week. And when I was working, I hardly stayed home because I didn't feel well. That was really not something that I did. And lately I've been doing nothing, and I've had crippling anxiety, and I have never been able to fully, like, get a diagnosis because I have never been able to go long enough anywhere, or I haven't been for years to a doctor. And, you know, I wanted to, and I could not. While I don't want any medication, I just want to be able to figure out whatever is going on so that I can move forward. I can figure out ways to cope with it. And while I'm really self-aware and I feel like I know what whatever's going on, that doesn't necessarily mean it is true, because I don't have any background in that. I can only look up stuff. I can only read so much, feel what I feel, and then think about and analyze that. But other than that, like, I need help. So, and most of us do. So aside from that, I had been dealing with my job, lack of work, lack of moving forward in projects that I want, lack of help emotionally, focus on things like with my money, like try to figure out budgets and schedules, and I'm sometimes behind, and that upsets me. And anyway, aside from that, not being able to talk to anyone, but that's fine, about it. And then struggling with my faith, and also dealing with super personal. I'm not going to get into details or whatever, but I am going through a incredibly long separation. And it's another thing that has just been, so I married, I got married, some odd years ago, 4 years ago, I think. It's gonna be 5, and that is something that I have been dealing with, the separation, and not, it's so frustrating to talk about, it's so frustrating to, like, to go through it, and that's also something that's just, like, not helpful. So I'm not doing this out of pity. I just want to be able to help you. I want to be able to help anyone. And this is also, I guess, maybe therapeutic for me, or cathartic, or it's something. And I want to be able to share so that others, can try to find some sort of hope in it. I don't want pity. I don't want, anyone to feel sorry for me. I want us to move forward. I want us to get stronger together. I want to be able to help anyone going through this, and to show you that I'm still here. I'm still alive, and every day is a struggle for me too. It's a tough topic, I know, I get it. But I want us to be honest with each other. I want us to be honest with ourselves. To be able to get through what we are going through, we have to be honest with ourselves and actually deal with the situations. We don't want to deal with hard situations, and so what we do is that we push it aside. And I did that for a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff you can do that. Not worry about it, and it is very helpful, and it is very comforting, and it helps you relieve stress, because you don't have to always overanalyze situations. Some things you don't have to worry about. And a lot of the things, if we pray and let God take the wheel on those situations, they work fine. But other times they aren't as simple. They're not simple, and it's quite a bit more complicated than just letting go. It's easier said than done. And that is where we need to, every day is a struggle, and we need to get through it every day. And be honest with ourselves and what we feel and what is bothering us, and not lash out at people, but look at the actual situation. It took me a long time to be like that. It's not like it's super simple. It's not something that everyone can do, quickly, and it takes years sometimes. Sometimes for people it's super quickly, super fast. That's great for them. That's awesome for them. And sometimes it's just incredibly difficult to even talk about. So if you can write in a journal, I guess, and I'm saying it like I can do that. I can barely do that sometimes. But put it in a place where no one will find it, so that you can be as honest as possible. You can't think that somebody will read that book, because then you won't be honest, and you want to be honest. And I know somebody who does not want to focus on getting through their situation, getting through the problems that they have, their own personal demons, because that means getting out of their comfort zone. That means actually doing something about it. And that's not helpful, because it affects everyone around you. It affects the person that you're with. And I implore you, if you are going to go into a relationship, figure those things out, and don't give up on people. Don't push people away if they want to truly help, if they actually have your best interest at heart. Don't push them away. Don't lock yourself in a box, because you don't want to work on those tough problems, those issues that plague you, that have been with you for years and years. So please remember, if you are struggling today, you're not the only one, and it is okay. to struggle today. As long as you know that you have to fight and you have to try to get better. You have to work towards getting better. I mean, I say that right now and I'm like struggling big time. Yeah, I've been baking, and even that is a struggle in and of itself. I have to force myself to do stuff, and even then sometimes it is physically impossible for me to do something. But it is not always going to be like that. So if you can't do it today, try to do it tomorrow. Try to do it. Work towards it. Don't let the people that are not constructively helping you, that they criticize you just to make themselves feel better, but rather listen to the people that are trying to help you, to give you motivation to do better. It is not always as simple, and I know that it might not be easy for you, but don't give up. Alright, I'm not gonna give up. I'm still here, and I am trying to figure out how to move forward, how to always be better, how to get past this and be stronger. And if you want to do what I do and put on one of your favorite shirts, it was a gift. Even watch one of your favorite shows, listen to a little music, favorite shows, listen to a little music, pray, read your Bible, listen to a sermon, read a good book, take a walk if you can, draw, paint, build something, play a game. But don't get lost in the most horrible parts of your life. So I just wanted to interject in the video for a little bit. I wanted to mention before you sign off, don't forget to check in on people, even if you think that they are okay. You know, this pandemic, this whole situation, all the things that are happening now, even before, they hit people different, and it is getting crazy. It is, how can I say, it affects people in so many ways, even when they don't think that it does. Sometimes we as people, you know, with the whole self-preservation thing, we tend to try to not go towards the bad sometimes, and that makes it so difficult to move forward. So I just want to say, just don't forget, even being there, like letting people know that you're there. With them knowing that is more than enough. Sometimes it's the actual help that they need. You know, just letting someone know that you are there and you think of them and you want to know that they're okay because you do care that they're okay. You know, sometimes that's the best, and that's the most help that we can even ask for, aside for a nice little prayer. You know, we think that by doing something grand we're helping, but the smallest things, by letting people know that you're there, that you care, you're thinking of them, that in and of itself is a great deal of help. And even just listening and not trying to diminish someone's feelings over whatever they're going through. Anyway, this video is a lot longer than I intended it to be. Say goodnight to my buddies. Have a good night yourself. And I gotta get to sleep soon. Because it is probably 3 a.m. Alright, have a good night.